Hey guys, it's Miss Slobodian back with another reading of Wonder. In last video, we finished Jack Will's part of the book, and we learned a lot about Jack Will and just how he feels about Augie and how he feels about the whole situation. We know that he punched Julian in the face for saying some bad words about Augie, and he stayed pretty loyal to Augie ever since the whole bleeding scream incident, where he did talk poorly about him. Since then, he stayed pretty good with Augie, and they've been really close ever since. We kind of ended off on Jack, Will, and Augie hanging out at Augie's house, and them introducing the character Justin, who is Via's new boyfriend. And we learn kind of how Justin first reacts to Augie's face. He sees Augie for the first time. Tries not to make a big deal about it, but we know inside he's really shocked. He didn't expect it to be as bad as it is, but he tries to tell Via that it's okay and that it's what he expected, just to make her feel better. So we don't know much about Justin, but he seems to be an okay guy so far. But we will be learning a lot more about Justin in this reading, because this whole reading will be on Justin's part. And just his relationship probably with Via, I'm assuming. So I am going to start on the chapter titled Valentine's Day, and it is on page 190. I gave Olivia a heart necklace for Valentine's Day, and she gave me a messenger bag that she made out of old floppy disks. Very cool how she makes things like that. Earrings out of pieces of circuit boards, dresses out of t-shirts, bags out of old jeans. She's so creative. I tell her she should be an artist someday, but she wants to be a scientist, a geneticist of all things. She wants to find cures for people like her brother, I guess. We make plans for me to finally meet her parents, a Mexican restaurant on Amesfort Avenue near her house on Saturday night. All day long I'm nervous about it, and when I get nervous, my tics come out. I mean, my tics are always there, but they're not like they used to be when I was little. Nothing but a few hard blinks now, the occasional head pull, but when I'm stressed out, they get worse, and I'm definitely stressing out about meeting her folks. Shh. My dog's barking because they're doing the windows or the roof next door. Quiet. Sorry. And I'm definitely stressing out to meet her folks. They're waiting inside the restaurant. The dad gets up and shakes my hand, and the mom gives me a hug. I give Augie a hello fist punch, and kiss Olivia on the cheek before I sit down. It's so nice to meet you, Justin. We've heard so much about you. Her parents couldn't be nicer. Put me at ease right away. The waiter brings over the menus, and I notice his expression the moment he lays eyes on August, but I pretend not to notice. I guess we're all pretending not to notice things tonight. The waiter, my tics, the way August crushes his tortillas on the table and spoons the crumbs into his mouth. I look at Olivia and she smiles at me. She knows. She sees the waiter's face. She sees my tics. Olivia is a girl who sees everything. We spend the entire dinner talking and laughing. Olivia's parents ask me about my music, how I got into the fiddle and stuff like that. And I tell them about how I used to play classical violin, but I got into Appalachian folk music and then Zydeco, and they're listening to every word like they're really interested. They tell me to let them know the next time my band's playing a gig so they can come and listen. I'm not used to all this attention, to be truthful. My parents don't have a clue what I'm doing with my life. They never ask. We never talk like this. I don't think they even know I traded my violin for my 8-string hand-anger fiddle 2 years ago. After dinner, we go back to Olivia's for some ice cream. Their dog greets us at the door. An old dog, super sweet. She'd thrown up all over the hallway though. Olivia's mom rushes to get paper towel while the dad picks her up like she's a baby. "What's up, old girlie?" he says, and the dog goes into heaven, tongue hanging out, tail wagging, legs in the air at awkward angles. "Dad, tell Justin how we got Daisy," said Olivia. "Yeah," said Augie. The dad smiles and sits down in the chair with the dog, still cradled in his arms. It's obvious he told this story 1,000 times and they love to hear it. "So I'm coming home from the subway one day," he says, and a homeless guy I've never seen in the neighborhood before is pushing a floppy mutt around in a stroller. And he comes up to me and he says, "Hey mister, want to buy my dog?" And without even thinking about it, I say, "Sure, how much do you want?" And he says $10. And so I give him $20 because that's what I had in my wallet. And he hands me the dog, Justin. I'm telling you, you have never smelled anything so bad in your life. She stank so much, I can't even tell you. So I took her right to the vet down the street and then brought her home. "Didn't even call me first, by the way," the mom interjects as she cleans the floor, "to see if I'm okay with him bringing a homeless guy's dog home." The dog actually looks over at Mom when she says this, like she understands everything everyone is saying around her. She's a happy dog, like she knows she lucked out with finding a family. I kind of know how she feels. I like Olivia's family. They laugh a lot. My family's not like that at all. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 4 and pretty much hate each other. I grew up spending half of the week in dad's apartment in Chelsea and the other half in mom's place in Brooklyn Heights. I have a half brother who's 5 years older than me and barely knows I exist. For as long as I can remember, I felt like my parents could hardly wait for me to be old enough to take care of myself. "You can go to the store by yourself. Here's the keys to the apartment." It's funny how there's a word like overprotective to describe some parents, but no words that mean the opposite. What word do you use to describe parents who don't protect enough? Underprotective? Neglectful? Self-involved? Lame? All of the above? Olivia's family tells each other I love you all the time. I can't remember the last time anyone in my family said that to me. By the time I go home, my tics have all stopped. So in this chapter, we learn a little bit more about Justin and his home life, which seems very different from Olivia and Augie's home life. He doesn't have that sort of protective parents that really care about the well-being of him the way that Augie and Olivia's parents do. So we know that about him, but not much more. And he also talks about his tics. So those are things that he can't control. So sometimes it's blinking the eyes or shaking his head, stuff like that. So we don't really know why he has those. Maybe he's always had them. Maybe they'll explain it later. The next chapter is called Our Town, and it is on page 193. We're doing the play Our Town for the spring show this year. Olivia dares me to try out for the lead role, the stage manager, and somehow I get it. Total fluke. Never got the lead roles in anything before. I tell Olivia she brings the good luck out of me. Unfortunately, she doesn't get the female lead. Emily Gibbs. The pink-haired girl named Miranda gets it. Olivia gets a bit part and is also the Emily understudy. I'm actually more disappointed than Olivia is. She almost seemed relieved. "I don't love people staring at me," she says, which is sort of strange coming from such a pretty girl. A part of me thinks maybe she blew her audition on purpose. The spring show is at the end of April. It's mid-March now, so that's less than 6 weeks to memorize my part. Plus rehearsal time. Plus practicing with my band. Plus finals. Plus spending time with Olivia. It's going to be a rough 6 weeks, that's for sure. Mr. Davenport, the drama teacher, is always manic about the whole thing. Will drive us crazy by the time it's over. No doubt. I heard, though, through the grapevine that he'd been planning on doing The Elephant Man, but changed it to Our Town at the last minute. And that change took a week off the rehearsal schedule. Not looking forward to the craziness of the next month and a half. So how do you think Olivia feels about the fact that Miranda got the role that she tried out for? What are the odds Miranda, of all people, got that role? I wonder if it has anything to do with Olivia. We'll see. The next chapter is called Ladybug, and it is on page 194. Olivia and I are sitting on her front step. She's helping me with my lines. It's a warm March evening, almost like summer. The sky is still bright, but the sun is low, and the sidewalks are streaked with long shadows. I'm reciting, "Yes, the sun's come up over 1,000 times. Summer and winters have cracked the mountains a little bit more, and the rains have brought down from the dirt. Some babies that weren't even born before have begun talking regular sentences already. And a number of people who thought that they were right young and spry, have noticed that they can't bound up a flight of stairs like they used to without their heart fluttering a little. I shake my head. Can't remember the rest. All that can happen in 1,000 days, Olivia prompts me, reading from the script. Right, I said, shaking my head. I sigh. I'm wiped, Olivia. How the heck am I going to remember all of these lines? You will, she answers confidently. She reaches out and cups her hand over a ladybug that appears out of nowhere. See? A good luck sign, she says, slowly lifting her hand on top to reveal the ladybug walking over the palm of her hand. Good luck or just the hot weather? I joke. Of course good luck, she answers, watching the ladybug crawl up her wrist. There should be a thing about making a wish on a ladybug. Augie and I used to do that with fireflies when we were little. She cups her hands over the ladybug again. Come on, make a wish. Close your eyes. I doubtfully close my eyes. A long second pause, then I open them. Did you make a wish? She asks. Yep. She smiles and cups her hands, and the ladybug, as if on cue, spreads its wings and flies away. Don't you want to know what I wished for? I asked, kissing her. No, she answers shyly, looking up at the sky, which at this very moment is the exact color of her eyes. I made a wish too, she says mysteriously. But she has so many things she could wish for, I have no idea what she's thinking. So what do you think Justin wished for? And what do you think Olivia wished for? And do you think they wished for a similar thing or not? Could be anything, I'm not too sure. The next chapter is called The Bus Stop on page 196. Olivia's mom, Augie, Jack, and Daisy came down the step just as I was saying goodbye to Olivia. Slightly awkward since we were in the middle of a nice long kiss. Hey guys, says the mom, pretending not to see anything, but the two boys are giggling. Hi, Mrs. Pullman. Please call me Isabel, Justin, she says again. It's like the third time she's told me this, so I really need to start calling her that. I'm heading home, I say, as if to explain. Oh, are you heading to the subway? She says, following the dog with a newspaper. Can you walk Jack to the bus stop? No problem. Is that okay with you, Jack? The mom asks him, and he shrugs. Justin, can you stay with him till the bus comes? Of course. We all say our goodbyes. Olivia winks at me. You don't have to stay with me, says Jack as we're walking up the block. I take the bus by myself all the time. Augie's mom is way too overprotective. He's got a low voice, like a little tough guy. He kind of looks like one of those little rascal kids in the old black and white movies, like he should be wearing a newsboy cap and knickers. We get to the bus stop and the schedule says the bus will be there in 8 minutes. I'll wait with you, I tell him. Up to you, he shrugs. Can I borrow $1? I want some gum. I fish $1 out of my pocket and watch him cross the street to the grocery store on the corner. He seems too small to be walking around by himself, somehow. Then I think how I was doing that when I was that young and taking the subway by myself. Way too young. I'm going to be an overprotective dad someday. I know it. My kids are going to know I care. I'm waiting there a minute or two when I notice 3 kids walking up the block in the other direction. They walk right past a grocery store, and one of them looks inside and nudges the other 2, and they all back up and look inside. I can see that they're up to no good. All elbowing each other, laughing. One of them is Jack's height, and about the other 2 look much bigger. More like teens. They hide behind the fruit stand in front of the store when Jack walks out. They trail behind him, making loud throw-up noises. Jack casually turns around at the corner to see who they are, and they run away, high-fiving each other and laughing. Little jerks. Jack crosses the street like nothing happened and stands next to me at the bus stop, blowing a bubble. Friends of yours? I finally say. Ha, he says. He tries to smile, but I can see he's upset. Just some jerks from my school, he says. A kid named Julian and his 2 gorillas, Henry and Miles. Do they bother you like that a lot? No, they've never done that before. They never do it in school or they'd get kicked out. Julian doesn't even live around here, so I guess it was just bad luck running into him. Oh, okay, I nod. It's not a big deal, he assures me. We both automatically look down Amesworth Avenue to see if the bus is coming. We're sort of in a war, he says after a minute, as if that explains everything. And then he pulls out this crumpled piece of loose leaf paper from his jean pocket and gives it to me. I unfold it, and it's a list of names in 3 columns. He's turned the whole grade against me, says Jack. Not the whole grade, I point out, looking down at the list. He leaves me 3 notes in my locker that says stuff like, everybody hates you. You should tell your teacher about that. Jack looks at me like I'm an idiot and shakes his head. Anyway, you have all these neutrals, I say, pointing to the list. If you get them on your side, things will even up a bit. Yeah, well, that's not really going to happen, he says sarcastically. Why not? He shoots me another look like I'm absolutely the stupidest thing he's ever talked to in the world. What? I say. He shakes his head like I'm hopeless. Let's just say he says, I'm friends with someone who isn't exactly the most popular kid in the school. Then it hits me. What's he not coming out and saying? August. This is all about being friends with August, and he doesn't want to tell me because I'm the sister's boyfriend. Yeah, of course. Makes sense. We see the bus coming down Amesforth Avenue. Well, just hang in there, I tell him, handing back his paper. Middle school is about as bad as it gets, and then it gets better. Everything will work out. He shrugs and shoves the list back into his pocket. We wave bye down the street and I watch the bus pull away. When I get to the subway station 2 blocks away, I see the same 3 kids hanging in front of the bagel place next door. They're still laughing and yucking at each other like they're some kind of gangbangers. Little rich boys in expensive skinny jeans acting tough. Don't know what possesses me, but I take my glasses off, put them in my pocket, and tuck my fiddle case under my arm so the pointy side is facing up. I walk over to them, my face scrunched up, mean looking. They look at me. Laughs die on their lips when they see me. Ice cream cones in odd angles. Yo, listen up. Don't mess with Jack, I say really slowly, gritting my teeth, my voice all Clint Eastwood tough guy. Mess with him again, and you'll be very, very sorry. And then I tap my fiddle case for effect. Got it? They nod in unison, ice cream dripping into their hands. Good. I nod mysteriously, then sprint down the subway 2 steps at a time. Okay, so what are your thoughts on Justin? Think he's a pretty good guy? I mean, I thought that last little part there was, it shows that he's pretty defensive over Augie and Jack already, which is a pretty good sign. And he also says that he wants to be a really protective father, so that's another good sign. So I like him so far. I will read the next chapter. It is called Rehearsal, and it is on page 200. Oh my gosh, we're already on 200. Wow, we don't have much more to go. The play is taking up most of my time as we get closer to opening night. Lots of lines to remember. Long monologues where it's just me talking. Olivia had this great idea though, and it's helping. I have my fiddle with me on stage and I play it a bit while I'm talking. It's not written that way, but Mr. Davenport thinks it's an extra folky element to have the stage manager plucking on a fiddle. And for me, it's so great because whenever I need a second to remember my next line, I just start playing a little soldier's boy on my fiddle, and it buys me some time. I've gotten to know the kids in the show a lot better, especially the pink-haired girl who plays Emily. Turns out she's not nearly as stuck up as I thought she was, given the crowd she hangs out with. Her boyfriend's this Bill Jock, who's a big deal on the varsity sports circuit at school. It's a whole world I have nothing to do with, and I'm kind of surprised that this Miranda girl turns out to be kind of nice. One day we're sitting on the floor backstage waiting for the tech guys to fix the main spotlight. So how long have you and Olivia been dating? She asks out of the blue. About 4 months now, I say. Have you met her brother? She says casually. It's so unexpected that I can't hide my surprise. You know Olivia's brother? I ask. Via didn't tell you? We used to be good friends. I've known Augie since he was a baby. Oh yeah, I think I knew that, I answered. I don't want to let on that Olivia had not told me any of this. I don't want to let on how surprised I am that she called her Via. Nobody but Olivia's family calls her Via. And here this pink-haired girl who I thought was a stranger is calling her Via. Miranda laughs and shakes her head, but she doesn't say anything. There's an awkward silence, and then she starts fishing through her bag and pulls out her wallet. She rifles through a couple of pictures and then hands one to me. It's of a little boy in a park on a sunny day. He's wearing shorts and a t-shirt and an astronaut helmet that covers his entire head. It was like 100 degrees that day, she says, smiling at the picture. But he wouldn't take the helmet off for anything. He wore it for like 2 years straight, in the winter, in the summer, at the beach. It was crazy. Yeah, I've seen pictures in Olivia's house. I'm the one who gave him the helmet, she says. She sounds a little proud of that. She takes the picture and carefully inserts it back into her wallet. Cool, I answer. So you're okay with it, she says, looking at me. I look at her blankly. Okay with what? She raises her eyebrows like she doesn't believe me. You know what I'm talking about, she says, and takes a long drink of her water bottle. Let's face it, she continues. The universe was not kind to Augie Pullman. Okay, interesting. So why do you think Via hasn't mentioned Miranda to Justin at all? They've been dating 4 months, which is quite a while, so you think it would have come up at least once, but he has never heard of her. He doesn't know that they were good friends. Why do you think that is? Okay, the next chapter is called Bird, and it is on page 202. Why didn't you tell me that you and Miranda used to be friends? I said to Olivia the next day. I'm really annoyed at her for not telling me this. It's not a big deal, she answers defensively, looking at me like I'm weird. It is a big deal, I say. I looked like an idiot. How could you not tell me? You've always acted like you don't even know her. I don't know her, she answers quickly. I don't know who that pink-haired cheerleader is. The girl I knew was a total dork who collected American Girl dolls. Oh, come on, Olivia. You come on. You could have mentioned it to me at some point, I say quietly, pretending not to notice the big fat tear that's suddenly rolling down her cheek. She shrugs, fighting back bigger tears. It's okay, I'm not mad, I say, thinking the tears are for me. I honestly don't care if you're mad, she says spitefully. Oh, that's real nice, I fire back. She doesn't say anything. The tears are about to come. Olivia, what's the matter, I say. She shakes her head like she doesn't want to talk about it, but all of a sudden the tears start rolling down a mile a minute. I'm sorry, it's not you, Justin. I'm not crying because of you, she finally says through her tears. Then why are you crying? Because I'm an awful person. What are you talking about? She's not looking at me, wiping her tears with the palm of her hand. I haven't told my parents about the show, she says quickly. I shake my head because I don't quite get what she's telling me. That's okay, I say. It's not too late. There's still tickets available. I don't want them to come to the show, Justin. She interrupts impatiently. Don't you see what I'm saying? I don't want them to come. If they come, they'll bring Augie with them, and I just don't feel like... Here she's hit by another round of crying that doesn't let her finish talking. I put my arm around her. I'm an awful person, she says through her tears. You're not an awful person, I say softly. Yes, I am, she sobs. It's just been so nice being in a new school where nobody knows about him, you know? Nobody's whispering about it behind my back. It's just been so nice, Justin. But if he comes to the play, then everyone will talk about it. Everyone will know. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. I swear I've never been embarrassed by him before. I know, I say, soothing her. You're entitled, Olivia. You've dealt with it your whole life. Olivia reminds me of a bird sometimes. How her feathers get all ruffled up when she's mad. And when she's fragile like this, she's a little lost bird looking for its nest. So I give her my wing to hide under. Okay, so that is that chapter. So why do you think it hit Olivia all of a sudden to be ashamed or embarrassed by Augie? She says she's never been embarrassed before, so why is she being embarrassed now? And if you were Olivia, would you feel the same way? Would you want your parents coming to the show, or would you not because of Augie? And think about that one, because it's easy to say, oh, I wouldn't be embarrassed, but really think about it, because it might be tougher than you think. Okay, and I will read the last chapter, and this is the last part of Justin's part. So Justin's part was pretty small, and then I'll share whose part is next. So this is on page 204, and it is titled The Universe. I can't sleep tonight. My head is full of thoughts that won't turn off. Lines from my monologues, elements of the periodic table that I'm supposed to be memorizing, theorems I'm supposed to be understanding. Olivia. Augie. Miranda's words keep coming back. The universe was not kind to Augie Pullman. I'm thinking about that a lot and everything it means. She's right about that. The universe was not kind to Augie Pullman. What did that little kid ever do to deserve his sentence? What did the parents do? Or Olivia? She once mentioned that some doctor told her that the parents that the odds of someone getting the same combination of syndromes that came together to make Augie's face was like 1 in 4 million. So that doesn't make the universe a giant lottery then. So doesn't that make the universe a giant lottery then? You purchase your ticket when you're born and it's all just random whether you get a good ticket or a bad ticket. It's all just luck. My head swirls on this, but then softer thoughts soothe. Like a flattened third on a major chord. No, it's not all random. If it really was all random, the universe would abandon us completely. And the universe doesn't. It takes care of its most fragile creations in ways we can't see. Like with parents who adore you blindly, and a big sister who feels guilty for being human over you. And a little gravelly voiced kid whose friends have left him over you. And even a pink-haired girl who carries your picture around in her wallet. Maybe it is a lottery, but the universe makes it all even out with in the end. The universe takes care of all its birds. So what do you think about that chapter? What do you think he says is the universe evens out in the end? Kind of what I take from that is that Augie does have it tough. His face is never going to change. People are always going to stare, but there is so much love around Augie. His parents, his sister, his newfound friends. People love him so hard. People fight for him. People defend him. And so that, I think he is saying, almost evens out the fact that his face looks the way it is the love he has around him. That is my thought. The next part of the book, and I believe is the final part, is part 6, and it is August again. So the rest of the book is going to be in August's point of view. No more other characters, so I don't know if you liked the other characters in there. I did. I felt like it gave us the chance to really get to know the other characters through their eyes, but now we are ending with August again, and this part is quite long. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, so that will be August's point of view, and we'll see how he's changed from the beginning, because he was part 1 and now he's part 6. So we'll see if there's any shifts in his behavior or in what goes on with him. So what do you think of Justin, and what do you think about what he said with the whole universe evening out thing? Do you agree with that, or do you think the universe is like a giant lottery and we just get what we get? It's a kind of a neat thought to consider. Some big things to consider for sure. But yeah, that is all I'm going to read for today. I hope you enjoyed the reading and the different points of view. I definitely did. I think I got to know the characters a lot better than if Augie was just talking the whole time. That's my thought, but let me know what you think. If you can comment down below. If not, just think about it yourself. I hope you have a great rest of the day and stay safe and healthy. And Winnie hopefully will finally go outside, because I think they are almost done with the roof. She is very scared of the people fixing their roof next door, so she won't go outside. So she's just been sleeping all day. But anyway, have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys in the next video where we will be reading all about Augie again. See you guys. Bye.